This is the What's Next podcast, Houston's #1 platform where I invite creators to share their journeys and give us a depiction of their visions. Most importantly, the last question I'll ask is, what's next? Episode number 81. September's very own. Houston, Texas. I got a real estate test tonight, 11:50 p.m. Walk with me. Good old Eazy-E Saint, opening song by the Nice Guys. Houston, Texas. Welcome back to episode number 81 of the What's Next podcast, a production of Still Visionary Inc. Episode 81. The last month in the third quarter. In 30 days, really 31 days, really, it's time to get busy. Get ready for that fourth quarter.
Facts.
Fourth quarter is when I Mike Jordan them.
Come on. Cheer. Cheer.
I'm trying to come up with a new tagline.
All right.
So I'll probably look to do that. I'll probably write it down and have it memorized before the end of the episode. Houston, Texas. Before we get started with the episode.
Faith. There is no Black Panther without Denzel Washington.
Rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. Rest in peace to him. Rest in peace to John Tompkins Jr. Rest in peace to Clifford Robinson.
Yep.
Thank God Jacob Blake is still alive with us.
Yeah.
And we need justice for not Sandra Bland, but we need justice for Breonna Taylor.
Immediately.
How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good. I'm here, man.
Yeah, it's about time.
Finally, I'm here.
It's about time.
Cheer.
This is episode number 81. Before we get started with the podcast, let's introduce our social media handles so we don't disrupt the flow of the conversation when we get to that point.
No doubt. Find me on Instagram, Mario Wanza. Facebook, Mario Wanza.
Okay.
Those are my two handles.
Are you on LinkedIn?
I am Mario Wanza on there too.
Okay, yeah. I just have to make sure because this girl I talked to in episode 46 of my podcast said that the adults be on LinkedIn.
That's facts. Facts.
She said that, so
yeah.
I knew I was on to something when I introduced that. But my name is John Ross Dike II. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at John Ross Dike is still _visionary. If you would, connect with me on LinkedIn, subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my fan page on Facebook, and visit my website at stillvisionary.com. Directly in front of you, I have all my merch, and you can shop stillvisionary.com/merch.
Like that. Boys, it's hustling.
Oh, man. So how you doing, man?
Fam, I'm good, man. We here. We surviving through this pandemic.
For sure.
God is good, man.
Yeah. Episode 81, man. It long time coming. And I'd hope that in this episode we get to pick the brain of a Houston actor.
Yeah.
Find out the ins and outs, and how to inspire the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think people should take from our conversation today?
Man, it's gonna be in your hands. Your destiny is gonna be determined by your decisions, and you literally are the captain of your ship. At the end of the day, you the captain of your ship, man. Of course, you and God, but it's gonna be on the choices you make.
What do you mean by that?
Well, a lot of times, man, we get influenced about other people's journeys, especially artistically. You know what I'm saying? You start comparison, and you feel like you should be further along, or maybe doing something else. But you got to realize the choices you make within your journey are for your own race. So what worked for somebody else might not work for you. And so you got to focus on what's going to work for you solely. And I think a lot of times as artists, even, musicians, actors or whatever, man, we too busy looking in these other lanes instead of focusing on our own race.
Do you think music is an easier path than being an actor?
Yeah, I do. And I do because, man, I had this conversation in the barbershop like 2 weeks ago. Like, people don't understand the volume of music that you can get in a small amount of time is way more than actual content that an actor can make or produce. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I could, if I was a musician or if I was a rapper or something like that, I could upload a song that's 2 minutes long and then give you and keep bumping them out. I could do like just one day of just bumping out 2 minute freestyles or 2 minute whatever like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a little harder for an actor, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Houston, Texas. My man and I, we go way back. We went to junior high school together.
Yeah.
And I actually started off my podcasting journey with him on a podcast entitled Who Cares? I still have audio bits of that, the visual too.
Yeah.
We wrote a hit series in Houston, Texas entitled G.R.U.T.L.E Diaries years back.
Classic.
And if you would like, man, I'd like to insert a scene or two.
Yeah, that's necessary. Man, that's necessary, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. And so, we wrote a short film entitled Chameleon Sunrise. And, it's funny. I was talking to Mario before we hit the record button. I said that last year there was a young lady who, her friend, I am actually trying to get her on the podcast, but me and kids were in this vegan spot in Third Ward. Okay. And she was like, hey, you did a show, huh? And I was like, yeah, it's one of those things where you're just like, finally, finally, come on, give it all to me.
Yeah.
Give it all to me. She was like, you know Mario, right? I was like, yeah. She was like, yeah, y'all did a show today. Y'all did a show, huh? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, yeah. I went to Clifton too. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. But I appreciate that, man. But I just thought that I should share that.
Yeah.
On this episode 81. By the way, 81 is a perfect square, which means that if you take the square root of it, the answer is a whole number. Okay. So we're both born in the month of September.
Yeah.
September's the 9th month of the year. Yeah. 9 times 9 is 81.
Mm-hmm.
This episode. And the only thing that would have made it more perfect is if we had 121 days left, and that's a perfect square as well.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that's just a little trivia. School got back started, so I'm having to put that math hat back on.
Yeah.
So, if you could define yourself with one word in your journey, what would that word be?
Man, faithful. It'll be faithful, man, because my artistic journey has taken me Louisiana, California, now back to Texas. You know what I'm saying? And man, through it all, I kept the faith, man. You know this acting journey, this not for the lighthearted. And I say that because you don't know how your journey gonna go. You don't know if it's gonna pop in 2 years, 4 years, however long, and then what's your definition of pop? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it a whole bunch of money, continually working, or what is it exactly? You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's been continually working, like steady doing something in the craft. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's commercials, industrials, voiceovers, theater, film, whatever, just steady working. You know what I'm saying? For me, I've come to find out that that's what defines the success for me right now.
Yeah. So creativity comes from experiences. Where did you start?
And
the reason why I asked that is this is information that over the years you don't really think to ask. You just trying to start a new journey, right? So you just pick up where you start, where you left off. We left off like being on a team before, from junior high. We left off from that, and so when we linked back up Houston, Texas, in the ensemble, and I think it was 2012.
Yeah, it was around
2012, 2011, 12, around then.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where, for me, I think that the last duo that did something was Ben and Matt from Boston. So when they came together and wrote that project, it kind of clicked to me at the time period. But where did you get your start from?
So I started with them church plays, man.
Okay.
No doubt. Started with them church plays, doing those plays in elementary school. And then when I got to middle school, I had like this deal where it wasn't really cool to do the whole theater thing. It was kind of cooler to be an athlete. It was cooler to be in sports. You know, the whole acting thing, that that was kind of whack. You know what I'm saying? Like, we inner city kids. We ain't acting. You know, we hooping. We playing football, baseball. You know, all that.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't until college, man, or in high school, I got on the debate team. Man, I got my ears pierced. My mama made me join the debate team. And so that kind of put me back into the UIL field and being back on the stage and doing stuff like that. And then in college, they did a movie called The Great Debaters. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? While in college.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then that's when I jumped back in for real. And that took me to L.A. And I was in L.A. doing student films, short films. But man, L.A.'s such a town of, grind that I got caught up doing more working than acting. You know what I'm saying? Because I was working at the L.A. Times out there in L.A. And, I came from Texas, so I ain't know, you got to grind. And I had like a job. And so my grind part was very little. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so I came back out here, and I was just like, man, if I'm finna go back to Texas, man, I'm finna go all in with it. And then that's when I ran across you now song.
Yeah. Would you say the time doing the Great Debaters, would you say how was that process? How do you define that process?
That right there was a process of grind and experience, and that kind of showed you the world. It showed me the world of film from a behind the camera standpoint. Because in that project, I got a chance to be a stand-in and a feature extra. You know what I'm saying? But I actually learned more being the stand-in, because on that part is basically, when you're on a set, you have first team and second team. And basically the first team is the main actors and the second team are the stand-ins. And so you basically are on set with the actors, like the main actors. Yeah. And you get to see, hitting your marks, the lighting, just the whole setup of a set altogether. It's a bit more intimate than just being a featured extra. Featured extra, you get, you're in a holding cell with all of the extras. When they say it's time for you, come on and you get in your spots, basically to create the atmosphere background, because they call extras background too. So that stand-in spot, man, was actually a gem for me, because I got a chance to make some connections with. I remember Damian Leake was who I was standing in for. He played he played the butler when they went to Harvard University, and they were staying there.
Okay,
he played the butler.
I remember.
Yeah, and so he just gave me some insight too, man, of just how this thing goes, and this industry, it ain't like so like if you go to medical school, you go this amount of time, then you become a doctor. You residency, you go to law school. Acting ain't like that. Mm-hmm. You can go get a theater degree. That doesn't guarantee that when you get out of school, you can go straight to TV or you can go straight to Broadway. It's more of a grind, and that's the essence of the business.
Yeah. Do you think it's easier if you were to get a theater degree? Because, Chadwick Boseman, man, God bless the dead. He, they were speaking a lot about how he was given the opportunity, but he was in acting school, or he had done something like that. I personally feel that a lot of people from Howard are just successful.
Yeah. I think a theater degree does give you, I think it gives you access to people in positions to, open doors for you. And I think what happens is, when you don't have that theater degree, I think you're coming into it where it's more of your talent and less of who you know. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I definitely think those degrees in theater help you, because you think about that, look at that cast in Black Panther. With the exception of, I think, Jordan, all of those cats with theater degree graduates.
Yeah. Lupita went to Yale.
Yeah. Winston Duke, he's a theater graduate too. All of them.
I think I read that.
Yeah.
Even Angela Bassett, even Forrest Whitaker too. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So on the acting tip, how do you survive in Houston as an actor?
In Houston as an actor, you got to have you a job. Period. Got to work, baby. Because for one, the opportunity out here in Houston, specifically the city of Houston, is limited. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I do is usually in Austin, New Orleans, New Mexico, surrounding areas and cities. But I noticed in actually Houston, you might get hospital commercial here and there. You might get an industrial here and there, but actually being in this city, you know, you're going to have to work. If you're trying to survive and do it comfortably, you're trying to live, you know, comfortably, you're going to have to work.
Yeah. Yeah. And what do you, so here's the thing. And let me find Barack Obama's quote. Go on. Keep telling me about that, acting business out here, because here's the thing. My father used to say, you can't serve two masters.
Mm-hmm. That's real.
And when we were doing visionary movements back in the day, you used to say, I'm an actor first.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me a while, years and years. I used to sit back at nighttime and I would think, what does that mean?
Yeah.
To only be an actor, that you can't serve two masters. Yeah. And, you know, I found with this production thing, man, everybody has a job. That's something that Asia was telling me in the episodes that she's been on. Everybody has a job, and you find yourself doing that job, then you're losing track of your main job.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And so,
yeah.
It's just a lot going on that people don't see on a set. And if you're busy trying to do everything, then you're really not a master of anything at all.
Even going back to that point that you mentioned, that, you know, you're an actor first, that's kind of like the nucleus of what you have to base your life activities around. Because if you make it to where, okay, well, I'll fit acting in, you won't be acting.
Yeah.
And that's what I had to do, because I was working full time once I touched down. But I started realizing, like, okay, these opportunities that come up, I'm not available for them because I'm at work. So if I'm an actor first and I'm not acting, then am I really an actor first? And so I had to flip it from acting being part-time to acting being full-time, and then work being part-time.
Yeah.
And then that kind of opened up the lane a little bit more for me to have opportunity to grow, not just as an artist, but just, you know, in the scope of my mindset that whether I'm working or whether I'm doing this or that, maybe I'm not on a set, no matter what I'm doing, I'm still an actor.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm a janitor, I'm still an actor. You know what I'm saying? Like I did a Zoom call, man, and Wendell Pierce was on it. It was with my mentor. And he was like, you have to remember that no matter what you're doing, whatever job you have at the moment to pay the bills or whatever like that, you still an actor that's just doing something to pay your bills. You know what I'm saying? I think that's key, man. A lot of people get, you know, because it be ego.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to do this. Listen, man, if you are comfortable with who you are and secure in who you are, make your bread and still act too, man. Like, don't get into that thing where, you know, I'm this and that, so I can't take a job here. I can't do that. Nah, I mean, who you fronting for? Who? I mean, at the end of the day, don't nobody care.
Yeah.
You know.
President Obama's quote to Chadwick Boseman read, "To be young, gifted, and black, to use that power to give them heroes to look up to do it all while in pain. What a use of his years."
Yeah, that's heavy. Yeah.
So when I read that quote, or when I was watching it on ESPN, it brought me to this: what pain do actors go through that people around them don't see and are not aware of?
Man, it's that
And have you ever been through that?
Yeah, it's that pain of you don't feel like the work that you are putting in yields the results of the work. Because it's like you feel like you grinding. Because you got to think, even with Chadwick, man, 42 didn't come about. I think he was.
I saw
35.
that.
It was late.
I saw that.
It was late in the game.
I saw
you know
that.
What I'm saying? For a lot of African-American male actors, a lot of them kind of get out of the gate a little later than their counterparts. You know what I'm saying? And I think that struggle of just putting in all those years and you feel like you keep hacking at this tree. You keep hacking. And it don't look like it's falling. You know what I'm saying? And I think all people really see is, okay, now they this star, or they, this success, but man, it could have been like 15, 16 years. Like, you don't know how many years in the making was before that of just this maybe minor success. You know what I'm saying? And you look at other people and their success is kind of on display. You know, you might think from a financial standpoint of, oh man, they buying houses, they buying property, doing all this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? When you equate it to, material success or whatnot. But I think that's the pain of it. It's just like, man, I don't have nothing to show for all this grinding I've been doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's I just noticed like a lot, because when you talk to a lot of artists, man, a lot of stuff that comes up is nothing to do with the art when it comes to pain. It's not about, well, oh man, this role is stressing me out. It's the elements outside of the craft, the life elements.
Yeah.
Where the pain come in at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's that quote that Barack said, that to be young, gifted, and black, that's actually a Donny Hathaway song.
I remember.
Yeah, and it just, you know, when you think about his life and what he was going through, just pain behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying?
It almost means that it wasn't just the pain from the sickness; it's the pain of the grind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think it contributes to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say that's what makes you sick. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not always the case. But I definitely think that, you know, those kind of contribute to those demons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then the fact that nobody knew, and everybody. I saw somebody on Instagram say that for the past 4 years, his closest circle knew that he was sick, but never leaked a word.
Mm-hmm.
And then it shows to me that, man, you know what, no matter what, look, 2020 has taught us so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going in a chat that, 2020, my man said, is anybody feeling the anxiety of 2020? And I said, 2020 has taught us so much every day. Yeah. We lose Kobe. Yeah. His daughter dies young. Yeah. The pandemic hits. So many people die in between that. Mm-hmm. Not to mention racial injustice. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like the pains that we deal with is not always physical. It's mental.
Mm-hmm. But a lot of it is mental. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you think about it being a pandemic. Think about being an artist in a pandemic. If you're an artist that relies solely on your art to make money, to eat, the industry been shut down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It hasn't been in-person auditions. I mean, it's been taped auditions for things that are, futuristic projects that are coming. But as of like right now, since March, a lot of the auditions, even commercial auditions, in person shut down. Maybe taped here and there.
Yeah.
But if that's your sole way of eating, no job on the side, no day job, none of that, it's just solely acting. Imagine the anxiety that a person like that is under right now. Mm-hmm. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Because each month, each week, you thinking like, yo, bills I gotta pay. What I'm gonna eat? You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things that make the artistic journey, not for the faint-hearted.
Yeah. What song's on your mind?
Right now, real talk, right now, it's Already by Beyonce. From the Lion King soundtrack, but she just made the video for it from the Black is King documentary. Yeah. But Already by Beyonce. Yeah. I think that, man, I've been thinking about that with the whole Chadwick stuff, just Wakanda, everything, man.
Why?
It's basically saying that you're a king, and you're a king already. No matter what come against you, no matter what you're dealing with in this pandemic, these social injustices, we getting shot down. In spite of all of that, you still a king. And you got to keep that mind frame. You know what I'm saying? It's just empowerment, man. And it's funny because it's a black woman giving black men empowerment. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And we need it right now, baby. Yeah. We need that. Need a lot of that. Bring that.
And for me,
what they say about us. Rich. Matte Black Rose, yeah, I gotta see in ghosts.
I had to, man.
Yeah.
It ain't been 27 summers for me, man, but it's a climb. Mm-hmm. And in that, that song right there, when he says 27 summers, it wasn't even a goal. You look back, and I was telling my brother this, you look back and you realize, man, that you're in for the long haul.
Man, you gotta be.
You and that's why I say, like, I've told people that have asked me about podcasting. I said it's not the first episode that you need to be worried about. It's the second and third one. Because after that first one is all the excitement. Even us, when we were doing Who Cares, we had that first one.
Yeah.
And then the second one came, and we were just like, man, what are we going to do?
Yep.
The third one came, it was like, man, what are we going to do? Okay, we need to get somebody else in here.
Yep.
we bring Chelsea in, and then was like, okay, what are we gonna talk about now?
Yep.
Chelsea goes on vacation. We're like, damn,
Yep.
what are we gonna talk about now? So it's just a never ending story. And then on top of that, when you look up and oh damn, we done 10.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Quick.
damn, we done 11.
Mm-hmm.
And then we stopped. Who cares? And then I'm just like, man, I just can't stop podcasting. I'm addicted to it. And then now you look up and it's like, damn, I done 80.
Yeah, that's
And then it becomes a drug.
mm-hmm.
Like you gotta do it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do it. And so 27 Summers, man, is the song that's on my mind by Nas, of course.
Let's go.
So a few years back, Houston, Texas, we got together and we wrote an independent project, a web series, which I believe, and if I'm not being biased, I believe might be a staple in the city.
It is. Hey, you could be whatever whoever want to say. Yo, before G.R.U.T.L.E. Diaries, I wasn't seeing a lot out here. So now I'm seeing a lot. That's all I'm going to say, man. Hey, if you go back and look at the years in the projects.
Yeah.
I mean, what was before?
Yeah. So this is what we'll do. I'm going to insert a clip of the series.
Mm-hmm.
Just for y'all to see what type of time we were on back then. Houston, Texas, this is episode number 81 of the What's Next podcast, a production of Still Visionary Inc. I got my man Mario Wanza here, and we'll be right back. Peace and blessings.
Mr. Love, good morning. You're late.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Have a seat. So, how are you feeling this morning?
I feel good. Though I have to admit I'm a tad bit nervous.
Oh? Why is that?
Well, I haven't worked in a long, long time, and I really want to do well in this interview.
Let's start off. Why don't you tell me who you are?
My name is Sincere Love, and I'm 25 years old. I was born right here in Houston. I went to Booker T. Washington High School and the High School for Engineering Professions. And after I decided to go to Howard Junior.
So, I took the liberty of reviewing your application before you got here, and I have to say I'm very disappointed with your GPA from Howard.
Okay, well, I know I made a few mistakes in college, but that
Well, I don't know what we can do for you. You aren't punctual, and to be a sub, you have to get here before the students. You have less than average grades, which will probably reflect on how you handle the classroom in the teacher's absence. And from where I'm sitting, it seems to me you have a slight attitude problem.
With all due respect, sir, you don't even know me.
What's to know?
Okay, Mr. Smits, whatever this job encompasses, I guarantee you, I'm more than qualified for.
Is that so?
So did you tell Chauncey about the interview? I mean, what'd she say?
Whereas when I got home that night, Chauncey had the mood set, candles, lights dimmed.
Okay.
She had next to nothing on, lingerie.
Yeah.
She was ready for some good news, and I could tell what she had in mind to congratulate me.
Okay, well, did you tell her or did you take the congrats instead?
It's Chauncey. I couldn't lie to Chauncey. So when I told her I didn't get the job, that's when all hell broke loose.
Oh, man, see me? I would have took the congrats first and then told her.
She was pissed. I mean pissed. She cursed at me and kicked me out the bedroom.
Wait, kicked you out the bedroom?
Cursed at me, then kicked me out the bedroom.
Well, you see, that's why I can't do the sisters, man. I can't do all that.
What you mean, black chicks?
Yes, black chicks. I just haven't had good experiences with them, man. I haven't.
You're talking about Mary.
Yeah, but...
Houston, Texas, man. Oh, man. When I think back to that project, man, I think back, wow, we really did it.
Yeah.
It took a lot.
Yeah. But that was good experience, too, because...
For sure. I needed it.
We did everything.
Yeah.
Direct, write, produce, act, edit, like the whole
Market.
nine. Market.
Yeah.
The whole nine. And
Yeah.
I think, from a progressive standpoint, man, maybe that's what an actor is now, where you wear all the hats. You know what I'm saying? You think about Issa Rae, and you look at her grind, that's what she did.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that kind of brings a question about that's come up a lot of outside of a primary market, can you make it from a secondary market such as Houston or, you know, any other city that's not like a New York or Los Angeles?
If you're not doing everything.
Yeah, if you're not, because it becomes a deal of, oh, well, maybe you can make it in those cities on the independent route, but that includes you doing everything. But making it in those cities without doing that, is it possible?
Yeah.
And, you know, I think, honestly, man, you know, with taped auditions and, you know, everything viral right now, it's possible. But if we're being honest, the people that are on ground zero in these different cities like California and New York, they got first dibs.
Yeah.
I mean, even Atlanta, as much as people want to make it, it's still a secondary market. It still ain't L.A.
Yeah.
Either way it go. You know what I'm saying?
Is Atlanta ahead of New York?
Right now in film, yeah. Yeah, right now they are. And that's mainly because of the incentives that you get from Georgia for filming. You know what I'm saying? They incredible right now. So, I mean, but then New Mexico, Netflix is in New Mexico right now. They doing some stuff, and New Mexico got some good film incentives. But I don't know if that's for everyone or if it's just mainly beneficial for Netflix.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's another juggle that the artist has to make. Okay, when I choose location, unlike music, where I can just be wherever, unlike music, because of the opportunities that are available to me in certain locations, do I want to be here or do I want to be there? Do I want to be independent or do I want to have some help? Because here's the one thing about L.A. You can still be independent in L.A., but you're going to have to maneuver a little bit differently because of the price of living. I'm just keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? You're going to pay in L.A. That's why you be seeing people with like 6-7 roommates, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, working 3-4 jobs, you know, and all them degrees, all that out the window out there. You got people waiting tables with doctorates and master degrees. None of that matter.
Yeah, I hear that too often.
Yeah, none of that matter out there. It's just straight grind.
What do you think that would have helped G.R.U.T.L.E. Diaries excel more?
Yo, with us, man, we just need, you know, let me just say this. You never ask for no handout or whatever like that, but if we had an extra push, maybe even distribution, but if we had an extra push just to elevate our stage, it would be different. And I say that for this. You cannot name a single person who's got on or whatever that didn't have a platform push. And what I mean by platform push, I don't mean that somebody gave them something, but they provided a different platform with more exposure than the level that they were already on. You get what I mean? I think for G.R.U.T.L.E. Diaries, and even then, once you get that platform push that increases your exposure, then you get access to different people, more writers, more actors, more tech guys. I mean, more. It just opens up the realm. But when you're independent, that's part of the grind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And again, we was doing everything, social, you know, marketing, filming, like the whole nine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I think was missing from G.R.U.T.L.E.
Yeah, I said to when I went out to LA last year, I said to my homegirl, you know, I got out there with my little MacBook and it just gave out. Yeah. It just was too much. It couldn't because we had, like you said, we did everything on there. I did all the editing. I did all the rendering of the files on 128 gigs. It was just too much. And so when it gave out last year, I said, you've done your job.
And that's, you know, in that light, that's what I want people to realize too, that, you know, people say a lot of times that, you know, I don't need nobody, I can do this. Here's the deal. Your reach is going to stop at a certain point.
Facts.
That's just the reality of it, man. And you hear a lot of artists say, well, I'm going to just be independent, I'm going to just do this. But even the independent artist has some type of assistance from another platform.
Right.
Like, even if, let's just say with, you know, musicians, man, let's just say that they weren't on a label. They just wanted to put their music directly to Spotify.
Yeah.
But what's the platform? Spotify. You get what I'm saying? So it's this idea that, you know, I'm super independent, or, you know, and just with actors, you know, I can do, at the end of the day, you're gonna need a platform push.
And we didn't have that, so we
And
we weren't independent. We were maybe a level under that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the only platform push that we had was YouTube.
Yeah.
As a place to, put the product.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But see that's another thing too with the arts, man. You gotta have some type of business mind behind it. Like you can't just be Denzel used to say that too, it's called show biz, but it should be called business show because you gotta know the business of it too, just as much as you know the arts of it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too with the independent grind, because if you in Houston, man, we're a metropolitan city, but as far as acting and everything like that, our focus out here really be oil, gas, and energy. They're not thinking about entertainment in Houston.
Yeah, and medical field.
And medical, yeah, that's key. Entertainment, they ain't worried about it. So it's on you out here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Who your top 5 actors all time?
Let's go with D.Y.'s gonna be up there. Pacino, De Niro, Anthony Hopkins, and man, this last spot, man, I kind of go back and forth between Tom Hardy and what's his name from I go back and forth between Tom Hardy and he plays a whole lot of different characters, man. Gary Oldman.
Yeah,
Oldman.
from Batman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about women?
All right, females, we got Viola Davis, we got Meryl Streep, of course. We got Regina King. I love her, man.
Yeah,
we got,
she did her thing on Boondocks.
Yeah. She just her levels and she super dope. Let me see, Viola, Meryl, Regina. I'm gonna go with man, them 3 just kind of set apart. After that. Man, I don't know. Them 2.
I would have thrown Julia Roberts on there. I just love Julia Roberts.
Okay.
Okay. And let me see if I can pick a 5th one. Who do I like to see? It's a lot. It's a lot of. Let me think. Can I go? And I really like. I used to like Zoe Saldana.
Okay, Zoe dope.
I used to like her.
Zoe dope. Okay.
I used to like her because she did a lot of those roles too.
Yeah.
Meryl Streep better than Viola?
Nah.
I agree.
That's another convo. You know what I'm saying? Because it come up a lot.
Yeah.
And like the interview we was talking about, opportunities, man, look. Viola cold.
She is.
That woman cold, man.
Yeah.
That woman, like, we listen, if we take gender out of it, like, we talking Viola, like, top actors, male or female.
I forgot to say Olivia Spencer.
Okay, Octavia
Spencer.
Yeah. She nice too.
Yeah, she is.
She nice too.
What were you saying? You were saying
if you take the genders out of it and you just, think about good actors, Viola can play on either side of the field. She can play on it because her versatility, man, that woman got range and, it just, she's in scenes with other top actors and effortlessly, she don't try to steal the scene. She don't try to take the light. But her presence, she just did. Like, man, in Fences, the scene where, D. Wash in there, and they kind of basically the confession of, it's another woman. That woman tears. That woman pain, her hurt. It was electric, man. Like, if you was in the theater, like, it was no way you couldn't connect. I mean, but that's her, though. That's all her performances. Like, I haven't seen Viola in something where she was whack.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Viola's just ice water to me.
Yeah, I mean.
And it started with Antoine Fisher for me. But she was probably out before that. But, to be in that scene and not have very many words, but just be able to tear up like that. And even if Derek Luke was awesome in that film, but even if he wasn't at that point in that scene, she still was there. You know what I'm saying? And so you find yourself feeling more for her or connecting to how she's performing Nah, let me not say that because Derek Luke was fire in that film. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie.
he was
I'm not
good.
Gonna, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. So, you're a Houston actor. I'm a Houston actor. I'm a less of a Houston actor because I'm focused on other things, right? But to the next generation of kids that want to be actors as well, what bit of advice are you going to give to them to get started, to stay the course, and to see some level of success in it?
My advice would be start as early as you can. And when I say start as early as you can, even if it's just you getting the camera, practicing monologues, even before you get to a stage where you're doing plays or whatever, just start there. And make sure that you stay in circles that feed you, that feed your creativity. Because a lot of times when we young, man, we trying to find our identities. And so we kind of gravitate to this crowd and gravitate to that crowd. That was one of the things with me. I wish I would have kind of stayed with the arts, even in that little span of time in between, versus going with what was cool or what I thought was like popular or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, your gift and what you are, you know, naturally good at is going to always be what you should gravitate toward. You know what I'm saying? That's and like if it's arts, stay with that regardless. Like a lot of youngsters, man, you know, it might be cool to be rapping or hooping or doing whatever, but if your gift is in the arts, stay with it and make sure your circle around you, make sure you around people that got the same interests, even as a youngster. Keep some people like that around you, man, because it's going to be a lot of different people trying to pull you, you know, different ways and everything like that. You know what I'm saying?
That was deep.
Yeah.
That was deep.
Yeah.
Today is August the 31st, 2020. And we have 122 days left in the year. What do you hope to attain in 122 days?
Yo, I'm hitting the ground running, man. I got a photo shoot schedule. That's another thing with this acting joint, man. You want to diversify your portfolio. You know what I'm saying? I got a photo shoot schedule, man. Representation. Like I said, that's another thing for the youngsters. Get you a mentor as early as you can in the game. Whatever field you want to do, get you a mentor early. I got one late. Like, I got one last year. You know what I'm saying? But it's been a difference maker, and that's part of the reason I'm doing this new shoot, too, because even when it comes to my look and just branding, I'm in a different direction now because I got some guidance in that lane. And so, yeah, I got a shoot scheduled up, man. I want to get that project that I sent you off the ground, too. That's an independent joint. But basically, man, I want to make use of 2020, even though it's pandemic stricken. And I feel like that fourth quarter, I always November always be nice for me. You know, like I don't know what it be, but it's always nice for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that I got all my tools, everything set for November. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, we've been in this mentorship, I want to say blitz, where we've been doing a lot of, because of the pandemic, we've been doing a lot of meetings with different industry execs and everything like that. And the most recent one, we had met Anthony Hemingway.
Okay.
And Wendell Pierce.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Wendell Pierce is, I just finally caught up on The Wire. He's been doing it for a while.
And Treme, have you heard of Treme?
No.
The show in New Orleans?
No.
Yeah, so my mentor played the dentist on there. But, yo, a lot of these cats, man, that you see on TV and maybe sometimes you – like that's one of the things. You can be successful and not be a big A-list or whatever type star. And I think people sometimes equate, well, if I don't see you on TV, you ain't doing nothing. Man, people actually making money, voice. So, like, it's all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, yeah, with this last push, man, that's what we on. This rebranding. You know, pushing this new product, keeping my hand in the independent field, you know, in the independent lane. But yo, this print modeling been taking off for me.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm gonna drop some stuff on IG too in regards to that. But yeah, it's diversifying the acting grind more. Because outside of the primary market, that's key too, diversification.
Yeah. Most importantly, the last question I'll ask is, what's next for you?
Yo, for me, I would have to say I've been kind of on the fence with, you know, moving. You know what I'm saying? But what's next for me is solidifying my place artistically as an artist or an actor who made it from Houston, in Houston. That's what I'm on. You know what I'm saying? I think now I've kind of said, yo, unless it's a opportunity that just I can't pass up to where I have to absolutely move and live outside of Houston, then yeah. But nah, I'm gonna do it from here.
So what I like to do on the podcast, man, is I like to give out an exclusive SVI T-shirt, one
to
every creator that comes on the podcast. And then now this year, the new edition is the exclusive What's Next podcast T-shirt that I get out to every creative. We got a lot more to delve into, but I'll save it. But it's been a pleasure having you on the podcast. We go way back. You know, it's a lot of laps that we ran. You know, doing shows at the Ensemble.
Yeah.
Driving down to Lake Jackson.
Yeah.
Driving to Huntsville. Driving to Huntsville.
Facts though.
Performing in front of a crowd of 2 people.
Mm-hmm. Literally. A performance rehearsal, felt like.
Killing tour ed shows at the Ensemble.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. But it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to do it again.
Yeah.
Houston, Texas, it's officially Virgo season. When this episode drops tomorrow, September the 1st, 2020, it'll be Virgo season. My man has a birthday on Friday the 4th. Happy birthday to Beyonce. Happy birthday to Black Blues. Queen Ruby Lee.
Yeah.
I'm on the 18th. I'll be back soon enough.
Yeah.
Beyonce, Houston, Texas. I do what I do for myself to prove that I could do it for others. Peace and blessings.
Now that's these Bumanti. My crystal ball, I see crystal. I crystal y'all with that. I saw the sign like Ace of Spades. That Ace of Spades get cracked me like cheers to the money guy. The Willie niggas who buy them bottles and then they spill these liquors. Yo, salute my dude. I see you, dog. 5 bottles, 1 dick. Why I need 2 bras? I know I'm out of line, but love is shower time. You know it rose rain when your cloud is 9. Get off that high-ass hussy. This a private party. Been on my dick too long. No breath on private party. You gon' be nice and naughty. These walls on priceless Audi. This the upper crust. Fuck is up. Over and done. Overdose. Yes, we did it again. Sip on